up, DFF Army? Dynasty Patrol HQ coming at you with a little video this morning. So we at the DFF team recently did a 4-round rookie mock draft. It's for the 2023 rookies. It's a Superflex, full point PPR, tight end premium. And we completed the mock, and then we wrote little blurbs for the article about our picks. But I wanted to create this video just to go more in depth about my personal selections and why I made them. So I was drafting second overall in the mock, and with the 1.2, I selected C.J. Stroud, quarterback out of Ohio State. At the 1.1, Bijan Robinson was selected, as he should be. He's the 1.1 in all formats. But 1.2 allowed me to take my favorite quarterback in this class, which is C.J. Stroud. So the reason I love Stroud mostly is his ball placement. I watch his tape and I see a guy that's Drew Brees level accurate. I mean, he can put the ball wherever he wants to put it. And that translates over to the NFL all day. Now, I'm not going to lie, I do helmet scout a little bit. I think a lot of guys shy away from helmet scouting. Like, it's okay for us to say that Ohio State University and LSU are wide receiver U's, but it's not okay for us to highlight the fact that like quarterbacks from a certain school or running backs from a certain school tend to bust in the league. And I personally, I don't like that. I think that it goes both ways. So I was completely out on C.J. Stroud because of the Ohio State quarterback lineage until last year when I saw Justin Fields set the league on fire. Last year, the Bears had one of the worst offensive lines in the league. Fields was throwing to future DoorDash drivers, and he still set the league on fire just going out there playing backyard ball. Now, Fields' and Stroud's games are very different, but Fields showed me that Ohio State quarterback's game can translate over to the league, which gave me the okay to believe in C.J. Stroud. He's a monster, amazing ball placement. I understand he's been throwing to the best wide receivers in college football all of his career as a starter. You know, he had JSN, he had Chris Olave, he had Garrett Wilson. Last year he had Marvin Harrison Jr. and Rebecca. I understand he's throwing to great wide receivers, but he's still producing amazing numbers, and his tape shows that he can get it to those guys anywhere on the field. That makes C.J. Stroud easily the best quarterback in this class. Next, at picking at 1.8, I wanted to take a wide receiver here. That's my overall rookie wide receiver 3, but I thought that he would fall to me with my next pick. So instead, I selected Michael Mayer, tight end out of Notre Dame. He's easily the best tight end in this class, and with the tight end premium, I wanted to go for Mayer. He's a great blocker, which means he can be on the field at all times at an NFL level right away, and he's an amazing pass catcher. Plenty of these guys like Dalton Kincaid are great pass catchers but can't block. The issue there is that they won't be on the field as much because if you can't block, you're not going to be on the field all the time. Mayer can do both. As such, he'll be a full-time starter in the league as soon as he's drafted, and he'll be able to show off that pass-catching ability. Michael Mayer, easy pick at 1.8. My 2.2, as I suspected, my wide receiver 3 for this class fell to me at the 2.2. It's Kayshon Boutte, wide receiver out of LSU. Now, Boutte is an interesting case because he suffered an ankle injury that has lingered. If you look at his stats prior to suffering the injury, they're off the charts good. He was setting the league on fire. Then gets hurt, suffers an ankle injury, and last year he didn't even look like the best wide receiver in his own team. Also, it seems like the injury has still lingered because he performed terribly at the combine and at his pro day. So the injury concerns are there. He also has some character concerns as he had declared to go back to LSU for his senior season to hype up his draft stock, get fully healthy. And after a couple weeks after he declared, LSU said, no, we don't want you back because of the supposed scandal. So, he's got the character concerns, he's got the injury concerns, but I still am an investor of Kayshon Boutte. He's my wide receiver 3 because I think he'll get that draft capital, and I also think once he heals up, he's got the potential to be a true wide receiver, low-end wide receiver 1 in the NFL. That's a steal at 2.2. So, at 2.8, again, I got a deal here at 2.8, and I knew he would fall. So at 2.8, I selected Zach Evans, running back out of Ole Miss. Zach Evans has completely fallen off the map for everyone, and he's still my running back 3 behind only Bijan Robinson and Jahmyr Gibbs. While everyone else is talking about Zach Charbonnet, I prefer Zach Evans. mostly because I value tape and production more than I do analytics. I love what I see on Zach Evans' tape. He's a great runner, and this guy was projected to be the top running back in this class by a lot of people for a lot of years. So I don't think it's fair that that's the case. He produces in college, does poorly at the combine, and now everyone's forgotten about him. Still my running back three in this class, a total steal for me at 2.8, and a guy that you should scoop up in your rookie drafts late. 3.2, I selected my QB3 in this class, Hendon Hooker, quarterback out of Tennessee. Now, you heard that right, I did say QB3, only behind CJ Stroud and Bryce Young. It's because I'm well documented as being an Anthony Richardson and Will Levis hater. Yes, I know his name's not actually pronounced Levi's, it's Levis, but I like to call him Will Levis as a joke because that's what he is as a quarterback prospect. I don't see Anthony Richardson or Will Levis' games translating over to the NFL. So Hendon Hooker, who's actually shown some college production, unlike those guys, and was the Heisman frontrunner before he got hurt last year, is my quarterback 3, which is a absolute steal at 3.2 in a Superflex. Now the concerns with Hooker are that he last year and the game against Alabama the year before, where he threw for 6 touchdowns or something, are really the only times he succeeded at the collegiate level. Prior to that, he was at different schools and he was terrible. So the concern is that Josh Heupel is running a very easy to run system at Tennessee, and we don't know how well a quarterback's game can translate over to the league. Watching his tape, it's a lot of one read and go. Like, see if Jalen Hyatt is open on the fly route. If he's not, take off. But at the same time, it worked. So I don't think it's fair to discredit Hendon Hooker's game because he operated under the offense he was in. I think his game can translate over the league. I also think that he'll be a late first-round pick in the actual NFL draft. So draft capital will be there also. 3.8, I selected Dwayne McBride, running back out of UAB. I'm a little conflicted on this guy. If you watch his tape at UAB, he's a little bit of a plotter, but the thing is, the production is there. I think he ran for like 1,900 yards or something last year. Production is there with this guy, and I'm willing to take the shot this late on a guy that produced like that. Now UAB didn't really pass the ball; they pretty much leaned on him heavily for the run. But I mean, Jonathan Taylor, Wisconsin is the same way, so it's not fair to discredit a guy based on that. So I worry that McBride doesn't have the actual skill set to succeed in the league, but I love him here, and I think that I think he'll be a maybe 4th, 5th round pick in the league, and if he's given a chance, I think he can produce. He does all the small things well. I think he can be like a James Robinson, a Marlon Mack, and I think if he actually gets an opportunity to be on the field, that he could show us some things. So at 4.2, I selected Luke Musgrave, tight end out of Oregon. So I'm not going to lie, Musgrave this is because of the tight end premium. Musgrave goes against what I usually draft. I like guys that either, number one, have that, top elite profile, or number 2, have that elite college production and amazing film. Luke Musgrave has neither. He suffered a knee injury that cut his 2022 collegiate season completely short after only 2 games, and he did very little in 2021 receiving-wise. However, in those games he did play in 2022, he was elite, he was stellar, he showed us what he could do, and he performed well at the combine, showing that he's past the injury, and I'm willing to take the shot on a tight end with his skill set. I don't think he'll be a first-round guy. I think probably 2nd, 3rd round guy. But if a team takes a shot on him and gives him a chance to be on the field as a pass catcher, I think he can really show off his ability and set the league on fire. I like Luke Musgrave. 4.8, my last pick in the draft. Similar to my Kayshon Boutte pick, I took Raheem Jarrett, wide receiver out of Maryland. So Raheem Jarrett is just like Boutte, and then he was a 5-star wide receiver prospect coming out. Didn't produce a ton in college, and we don't really know what we got with this guy. He projects as a slot wide receiver, and watching his tape, I see some inconsistencies as far as drops. I also see some issues as far as his route running. He seems lazy in his route running, but Having said that, I think that what the good things I see on tape from him is that he's happy to go over the middle of the field. You know, he does okay on contested catches. And I think if a team, I think he'll be a late round draft pick in the league. And I think if a team waits on him and kind of lets him develop a little bit, hones his rawness, then he could be a legit low end wide receiver 2 in the league, which you're not going to get here at the 4.8 pick in a 12-team Superflex draft. So, okay, that's all my picks in our draft. I hope you enjoyed listening. Please, if you enjoyed this content, please follow me on Twitter at Dynasty Patrol HQ. Please subscribe to Dynasty Football Factory. It's only $20 annually, and for the content you get, that is crazy good. DFF Army, plant your flag.